Hey guys, my name is Sam here on my channel and wanted to share this video and talk about how gentrification can happen when real estate is passed down from one generation to the next and that next generation doesn't want the property. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Sam. I'm a loan officer. I talk about home loans and real estate. So this property that you see here is in Port St. Lucie. And back in 2017, when I was a listing agent, I was tasked with selling this property. The owners of this property passed away, but they created a trust and placed their children in the trust. And the administrator of that trust, who I was dealing with, lived in New York. And he was responsible for taking over the property and managing it. And they decided to sell. They didn't want to keep it. When I went to the property to take a look and see what actually needs to be done and what kind of work it needed a little bit of work. So the inside layout was a little bit altered. The backyard needed some work because there was some structural damages and there was some bit of termite damage, but the property was in great shape as far as the bones and the overall structure. As you see, there's a lot of land here. There's a lot of land in the back. You could put a pool back there. But even with the potential, the family did not want to keep it. They didn't want to rent it out. They didn't want to fix it. They didn't want to use it as a vacation home. Their main goal was to sell it and then get the cash and then, move on. I see this often where family members acquire property from a relative that has passed away and they don't want it. And especially in neighborhoods where home prices are pretty affordable and we see the community uh, of working class people. And I'm going to tell you how this played out and exactly what happened here. I tried to convince them. I tried to tell them, hey, you should really keep this property. It has a lot of potential. It's going to appreciate in value. Yes, it needs a lot of work, but you can pull your money together, all your other siblings, and you can fix it up and it could be a nice vacation home. They weren't interested in that. They just wanted to sell it and move on. But let me tell you guys what exactly happened. So we listed the property for $118,000 and it was bought by an investor. He paid all cash and the investor went in with his crew, fixed it up, and then turned around and sold it for $168,000. So he made a pretty decent penny off of that flip. And fast forward to today, 2023, that property has now doubled since then. All right. So this was back in 2016, 2017, where we did this transaction. I did the transaction for the seller, and then the investor bought it, and then he flipped it, made his profit. And now we're looking at the value shoot up to 2x. It doubled its what we sold it for. So now this is where we talk about how areas become gentrified. And gentrification is not a bad thing. Gentrification could be a good thing. It's bad when the homes become unaffordable and the people that would live there are no longer able to move into that neighborhood because the prices now are so far out of reach, they're just not able to afford it. And that's where gentrification becomes problematic. And that's kind of what we're seeing where we have families that are receiving properties or acquiring properties from family members that have passed away, but they're not interested in keeping the property or holding the property. They just want to move on. They want to get their cash and move on. I have no problem with that. But we have to understand that this can accelerate gentrification in a neighborhood. Just wanted to know what you guys thought about that because, I see it often in a lot of communities where properties and real estate are passed down to the younger generation, but they don't want it. It gets sold off to an investor. Investor comes in, fixes it up, and then doubles the price on the property. And the property gets sold, but now the people that would live in that neighborhood can no longer afford to live in that neighborhood. The affordability of that neighborhood changes now because the prices have just skyrocketed. So tell me what you guys think and leave your comments in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.